I think that most people have never even opened this effect. Hello my friends, in this video I'm going to show you all the modulation effects that we have in Cubase. They're amazing effects and there are tons of them. So let's get started because we have lots to talk about. I will never stop saying that Cubase has some really well hidden gems in its stock plugin arsenal. And when it comes to the modulation category, we have some amazing effects there. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you all the modulation effects that we have inside Cubase. I want to say though, this is not going to be a review or a deep dive into any one of these plugins, but as you know, what I'm going to ask you is to let me know in the comments down below. Vote which ones of these plugins do you want me to make a dedicated video about, because some of them are quite complex, and for the plugins that get the most votes down below, I'm going to make a dedicated video like I did with the Mod Machine. I keep my promises, but I need to see many comments down below. Let's get started. There are many modulation effects in Cubase, so I'm going to try and keep this video short. I'm going to play one short example for each one of these effects so that you can hear what these effects can do in a nutshell. Let's start with the auto pan. I'm going to play this guitar. So auto pan is a beautiful effect. What it does is it pans the signal left and right, and you can set up the rate here, you can tempo sync it, you can create your own curves if you want to. Many different things that you can do with this effect. So I'm not gonna dive too much into any one of those. I'm going to turn off auto pan and I'm going to go to the chopper effects. And let's listen. Imagine Green Day, Boulevard of Broken Dreams. That was the effect for the guitar. It was a chopper effect. So as you can see, we have many different modulation types. So we have sine waves, we have sawtooth, we have square and triangle waves. And each one of those will give us a different stuttering sound. Moving on, I'm going to show you the flanger effect, of course. So that's a pretty darn good flanger. Let's move on to the chorus, and we have two choruses. The first chorus that I'm going to show you is this one here, which is the most plain chorus. Let's listen to it. So you can go from really subtle, you know, if you go very low with a rate, to extreme modulation. You know, it sounds really beautiful. Now, let's move on to the next one. The next one is the Metalizer. This is a really old plugin that has been in Cubase for ages. I can't remember, I think at some point it was removed. I'm not sure. But it's a beautiful effect, and I think that most people have never even opened this effect. It's beautiful, isn't it? It sounds so organic. You know, this could be run through a pedal. Okay, next up we have the phaser. And be careful with the feedback with this one. Next up, we have the cloner. This is great for vocals if you want to create super wide vocals. You spread them, you detune them, you delay them. This is how it sounds. Let's listen to this one with this guitar. I've talked about this effect in previous videos, but I think this works great with vocals. Next up, we have a modulation effect that definitely needs its own video, and this is the FX Modulator. This is... I cannot really make justice for this plugin here at such a short amount of time, but basically what you can do is you can add modules here. You have width, you have bit crusher, you have pitch shifter, compressor, time shifter, reverb, volume, and you can basically automate and modulate this with these curves here, and this is time-based. Let me show you how it works with this filter automation. So let's say I want to add a multi-mode here, and let's create this kind of curve. And like I said, this is a super deep plugin. I could have a tutorial that lasts for 1 hour and a half, 2 hours easily, showing you what you can do with this. The next one is the ring modulator, and again, this is an incredibly fun plugin that, again, I think that maybe 90% of Cubase users have never even opened it. And it's so much fun. I admit this has some secrets right there, but it can really yield some really interesting results. Let's listen. So if you've ever used a CS80 synthesizer, you probably know what a ring modulator is. It's a very interesting effect. It's not so common anymore. Most people know chorus, no phaser, no flanger, but ring modulator is a really powerful effect. It can create some very interesting sounds because it can go up to the audio range when it comes to the modulation, and you can create some really grainy textured effects. Next up, we have the Rotary, and this emulates a Leslie Rotary speaker. So you can go from slow to fast. That's going to work great on organs. It's going to work great on guitars. It's a lovely sound. Next up, studio chorus. Now this is a little bit more advanced compared to the previous chorus that I showed you before, because this has 2 stages. It's a 2-stage chorus. Let's listen. Next up, we have the transformer. And let me give you an example so that you can hear how this plugin sounds like. It's actually very, very interesting. Especially if you want to create sci-fi effects and really strange, wobbly sounds. You will have loads of fun with the transformer. Again, let me know in the comments down below which one of these plugins do you want me to make a dedicated video about. Next, we have the simple Tremolo plugin. Let's listen. And I like this because we can go with a mono version if we have the special control all the way to 0. This reacts like an old school vintage tremolo from an amp. Or I can spread it. It's beautiful. These are all stock plugins, my friends. You know, you don't need to spend a dime. They're inside your Cubase folder. Let's try the last plugin for today, and this is the Vibrato. Now, with the Tremolo, we're modulating the amplitude, and with the Vibrato, we're modulating the pitch, which is kind of bizarre because if you think how we call the whammy bars on guitars, we call them tremolo bars. Somebody really messed it up right there. They should be called vibrato arms, really, not tremolo arms. But hey, there was no internet back then. I'm pretty sure that if somebody came up with it and there was a YouTube when this happened, people would eat them alive. Okay, vibrato, let's listen to it. See, we're modulating the pitch here. But I can still spread it with a special control. So there you go, my friends. These are all the modulation effects that we have inside Cubase. I hope this video gives you a little taste of what these effects can do and how they sound. And I hope this video will inspire you to start digging into these stock effects and start experimenting with them. They're free, they're in there, you don't have to buy anything, they're inside your Cubase folder. So, you know, go ahead, go to town with them. Now, if you found this video useful or entertaining and I put a smile on your face, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and if you really want to support what I'm doing, you can hit the super thanks button right here. Maybe you might want to buy one of these beautiful t-shirts or merch, or you might want to check out my instruments, my Modern 80s drum kit and my Apollo expander for Pad Shop. And of course, another way to support me is by checking out any one of these videos that I'm going to have right here. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. Have fun, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.